Hi everyone, Kristina Werner here. Three things to keep in mind when starting a card project for me, and this will be a different answer for everyone, is first, I like to keep in mind who I'm making the card for. Now, this doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you could just be crafting for the love of crafting and making some cards. But for a lot of times when I'm crafting, for example, if it's a birthday card or something like that, I have a person in mind who's going to receive that birthday card. So that's one thing to keep in mind before you get started. Another thing to keep in mind is what products or techniques you want to do. I like to start out by sketching out some card ideas and just see where it takes me. If I'm not going to be creating a specific card for that particular crafting session, maybe I just want to get my hands on some supplies. Maybe I'll do something a little bit almost more meditative and repetitive. I might swatch some paints or coloring mediums, anything like that. I love doing that because it keeps me in the mode of creating and crafting, but I don't have to add any additional thought to what I'm doing that day. This is a more practical tip for something to think about before you start making your cards. Who is this going to, and does it need to be mailed? Because if I have a card design in my mind that's really dimensional and has a lot to it, I won't always want to send that through the mail unless I'm going to be including in a package with a gift or something. If it's an everyday card that I'll be mailing to just anyone, I might want to keep it a little bit more on the flat or slim side so that it's easier to mail. Currently, I'm not really big into journaling. I kind of do a lot of picture taking on my phone and kind of snapping moments throughout my day. But there was a time in my life when I journaled a lot, and it was very self-reflective, and it was a really great exercise. I find meditation actually really helpful when it comes to being just mindful in my everyday life. I wasn't always like this. One of my really good friends encouraged me to try out some really simple meditation, just like 5 to 10 minutes using a meditation app on my phone. And I tried it once at the end of a very stressful day, but it wasn't the complete end of the day because I had more to do. I'm sure we've all had days like that. And I remembered, oh yeah, maybe I should just meditate for 10 minutes and see if that helps. And I cannot tell you the experience I had. It was so great. It was just a beginner meditation kind of session on, I think it was on the Calm app, just 10 minutes. And at the end of that, suddenly it was like my mind was clear of all the things on my to-do list, and I was able to focus on what needed to be done right then. So I find meditation to be a really great tool to use when you're just overwhelmed. And I know to some that might seem like, oh, meditation is just one more thing to overwhelm me. It's not. Give it a try. Just try it a few times, and I think you'll really find that it helps clear your mind and gives you better mental focus for whatever you're needing to do. I would still consider myself a beginner when it comes to meditation, but I would really recommend getting an app on your phone, your computer, or your laptop, iPad, whatever. I really like the Calm app. I find it really, really soothing, and there's lots of great features to it. But you could also just try adding a little bit of just breathing and thinking about things just at the end of a workout. I really find that after I finish my workout and I'm stretching and I'm laying on the mat, doing a little bit of just thinking and breathing really helps. Now, I'm not the biggest yoga person. I'm not flexible at all. I can't really do much, but I can do restorative yoga. And I find restorative yoga very meditative and relaxing and calming. So a lot of times when I work out, I will just add on maybe 10 minutes of a restorative yoga session, and that really calms me down and gets me ready for the rest of my day. I'm not your typical crafter, and that it is my full-time job is to create content to share with all of you online. So it's part of my job, and I think a lot of you out there, whether you have a full-time job or you're running your home or anything like that, you might relate to the feeling of being overwhelmed and not having enough time in the day. And I think mindfulness when it comes to creating and crafting is really important. I think if you're carving out a portion of your day to create something, something, let that be a session just for you. Let that be something that you can come back to time and again to breathe new life into every other corner of your life. If I was going to a crafting retreat and I could only bring 3 things, this is going to be kind of off the wall, but this is what I've done in the past. I would bring nail polish, because I really find if I'm going to a crafting retreat and I'm going to be with friends and people I want to get to know, there is nothing that will help you get to know a person more than sitting across the table from them painting their nails. The very first retreat I ever went to, it was a crafting retreat, but like I said, crafting is my everyday job, and so I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I brought a bunch of nail polish, and I actually did nail art designs on the nails of my friends, and that was super, super fun. Another thing I would probably bring to a crafting retreat would be probably just a plain watercolor set and some watercolor paper. I love to just sketch and do lettering and little things like that. And if I don't want to do something like that, I might bring a coloring book or coloring pages, or even just stamped images that I've already stamped that are ready to color. And I would just bring those and just color. When I'm with a bunch of people and I just want to talk and gab and get to know them more, sometimes I find it hard to really take a card design from start to finish unless I've already planned it out. So if I have some cards, maybe around the holidays I need to make a lot of, sometimes I'll prepare a kit and just bring all the supplies and make everything all there. Otherwise, I like to bring little bits and pieces of cards and not plan to finish anything at all. I might just bring some stamped images that need coloring or something like that. My go-to technique for projects, and this will not be a surprise to any of you out there who know me pretty well, it would be dashed lines. I do a lot of like faux stitching lines on projects, and sometimes at the end of a project when it's just not looking right, doesn't look finished, just adding a little dash line edge just finishes it off perfectly.
Hey there, Lydia here. I really do hope that you've just enjoyed the video. If so, please subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, turn on the notification bell so you can get your daily dose of crafty techniques and tutorials just like this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.